State of Wisconsin. He's now charged in 12 mutilation murders, 8 of those charges added yesterday. And once again, he showed no emotion when he appeared in court. Channel 7's Paul Mikey was there.
You're also charged in habitual criminality, which carries an additional 10 years on each count. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Jeffrey Dahmer spoke briefly in court yesterday, only to say he understands the charges against him, though it's hard for anyone to understand his crimes. All of his victims drugged, murdered, and dismembered. Dahmer kept the heads of 11 of his victims in his apartment. He painted 3 of the skulls with a gray paint to look like models. Dahmer had sex with most of his victims either before or after drugging their drinks. But that wasn't true with 23-year-old David Thomas. Dahmer, according to newly released court documents, concluded that Thomas was not his type. Nonetheless, Dahmer says he murdered Thomas last fall, dismembered his body, but, quote, did not keep any of the body parts because the man wasn't his type. Even though Thomas's remains have not been found, Dahmer yesterday was charged with his murder based on photographs identified by Thomas's family. The remains of 4 other Dahmer victims have not been found, and there may be charges ultimately in those cases as well.
Law does not require that there be a body, but the law is quite challenging when there is not. If and when, and I say if, there is appropriate proof, then we will file as we did in the David Thomas count.
Dahmer's attorney won't discuss his client's moods or conversations, but says he remains convinced that Dahmer's killing doesn't go beyond the 17 he's confessed to.
My client has told me that all incidents have taken place in the state of Wisconsin except one in Ohio.
It is possible that Dahmer may never go to trial, that he may simply just enter a plea. He has already confessed to 17 murders. When asked about that possibility, his lawyer said, no comment. In Milwaukee, Paul Mikey, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Among some of the stunned observers in that Milwaukee courtroom were the families of the victims. Some 60 family members came to court to see the man who admits killing their loved ones. All of them saying that they want to see justice done. And as they arrived, some grisly reminders of the case were being checked into a police evidence room, the refrigerator that was used to store some body parts, and a tank believed to contain the acid used to dissolve human remains. Hundreds of observers who could not get into the courtroom gathered in front of any television sets that they could find. Our Chuck Gowdy talked to victims' relatives who witnessed the proceedings and then bitterly recounted their observations of what they saw inside.
He sat there like nothing had happened, that everything he did was all right, and he understands that he's going to be punished for this, you know. He didn't have, I've seen no remorse at all up in that courtroom.
Anytime they bring him anywhere, I will be there.
You'll be back?
Yes, I will.
Mrs. Hughes' son, Tony, is one of the men whose murders were added to the charges against Dahmer yesterday.